All right, guys, welcome to episode 7 of the Limitless Mindset Podcast. I wanted to pop in here today real quick, just honestly off the cuff. I was having a quick conversation with someone a little bit ago, and it kind of prompted me to want to come in here and share the same message with you guys as well, because I figured it could help some of you guys maybe add some value and help you grow your business a little bit, because this seems to be something that I see a lot of people get stuck on. And honestly, this is something that I still continue to get stuck on from time to time and constantly work on. So what I wanted to share with you guys today is, if you're looking to grow, you're looking to scale at whatever it is you're doing, any kind of business, as you grow a business, the one thing that you really need to identify about yourself is what is your highest and best use of your time. This was something that was hard for me to really let go of, because I always struggled with delegating, right? I had that mindset of, I'm the only one that knows how to do this job. I'm the only one that's going to be the best at what it is. And it's hard too when you're building a business, right? Those of you guys that are either in the front end of your business just starting out, even those of you guys that have been in business for years and run a very successful business, I'm sure some of you guys can think back, or maybe like I said, you're in this position right now where you're struggling, or you struggled with handing off some of the tasks within your business, right? That's your baby. You growing this thing. It's got your name on it. You perfected it. You mastered it. You got a lot of time, energy, money, everything invested into this. And so the last thing you want to do is hand that off to somebody or bring somebody else over to delegate some of the tasks, have them not do it right. Your business crumbles. Worst case scenario, blows up. We all have those thoughts. So I wanted to share this with you guys because, I think it's important that if there's one thing you know about yourself, it's going to be, what is your highest and best use of your time? I'll use myself as an example. I know everything about the real estate business, running a team, a structure, now a brokerage that we've started that from start to finish, everything in between. I know every task. I've had my hands on every task of that business. But it does not mean that I'm the best at all of those things. And it does not mean that my highest and best use of time is spent doing all of those particular things. This is something that I have gone very, very heavy with on the agents that I coach and all the agents that are on my team right now, is really identifying what their highest and best use of their time is so that they can maximize their productivity. They can free up time in their day to do what it is that they want to do and honestly work towards that healthy work-life balance, which is something that all of us business owners really want to focus on, especially myself. I'm horrible at it. It's one of the things that I'm constantly working on. But identifying this highest and best use of time personally for me has helped me free up more time and has allowed me to be more productive. One of the biggest, I remember, scariest things to do is hire that first employee, that number one person that you bring in, team member, partner, whatever it is, whatever your business structure looks like, bringing that person in and actually making the jump to send over some of your daily tasks to them to delegate, to run it, and just hoping that they do it right, or investing in that person, whether it's through paying a salary, maybe sharing some commissions, whatever that may look like. You're always taking a gamble on somebody to do things the same way as you, if not better. I can tell you guys now, being on the other side of that, it's something that I'm extremely comfortable with, and I've had to do it time after time and after time again. But I can only say now that I see the benefits of this, because I've seen it reap massive rewards for me, and I've seen my business been able to scale and grow because of my ability to do this. I'll use something for an example. When I first started in real estate, I'm one of those guys. I would say, in any business, you have a integrator and you have a visionary. And I would say I'm definitely more of a visionary personality. I love to dream big. I love to think of new ideas. I love to be creative. I love being out with people. I have the big ideas, the big picture. If you had to envision, I'm the guy driving the car and I'm not really paying attention to what's right in front of me on the road. I'm looking way down the road, miles and miles ahead to see where it is we're going. I'm always focused on, the future, 5, 6, 7 months. The downside to that for somebody like me, and maybe this is you and it sounds familiar, is we don't pay attention to the small details, right? Because in my mind and the way that it works, the small details are what slows us down. It's challenging, right? But does that make the small details any less important? Absolutely not. I would almost argue the small details are what holds businesses together in most points. Just as equally important as knowing where you're going. So that's why it's extremely important to have within your business, right? You got these visionaries and you have these integrators, right? So for me, like I said, when I first started in real estate, I loved meeting people. I loved, new marketing ideas, seeing new homes, doing all these things. I hated the details. I hated the organization. I hate the structure. I hated specifically the paperwork was the worst. Still is. I hate it. But I did it, right? It was part of the job. It had to be done, but I didn't do it as great as I should. It was always kind of sloppy. I mean, the paperwork was done right, contracts were done right, but they were turned in late. They weren't organized. They weren't nearly structured, to the point where I was getting fined like crazy by my previous broker, and I can't blame them because I sucked at turning things in on time. But it got to the point where I said, okay, I got two options here. I can just get really good at doing paperwork here, or I can hire somebody that is way better at paperwork and take this off of my plate to free up more of my time to do the things that I love and the things that I'm really good at. You know, I only got 24 hours in a day. I got to carve out, 6 to 8 of that to sleep, another few hours to spend time with the family, and then the last thing I want to do is spend the working hours that I have doing things I don't like, where I can focus on doing the things that I do like and do more of those things. So what did I do? Hired a transaction coordinator, brought them in, and guess what? They were amazing at paperwork. They actually, funny thing about it, hated doing what I did. They didn't like going out and meeting people. They didn't like being in the car and doing those things. They definitely weren't a visionary. They had to have all the details. They couldn't even envision what something looked like, 10 miles down the road, because they had to have all the tiny little details of what was going to happen, how it was going to happen, how is it possible, right? Which is not how I think at all. But by bringing that person in, because they were so detailed and so structured, my paperwork, my organization, my files, guess what? That part of my business took off because I handed that off to somebody that was so much better at it than I was. And it also freed up more of my time to go and do what it is that I'm great at. And guess what? When you're great at something, you're really, really good at it, and it's something that you love doing, you're going to probably do it at a much higher level than the things you do that you really hate doing, right? So one thing that we're really big on now is when we go to hire people, this is the mistake I made in my early 20s. I was running teams. In my head, I need a whole team full of people just like me, right? Got to have people that move fast, make quick decisions. They're sloppy. It doesn't matter. They're results driven. Guess what? We got great results, but we were super sloppy. A lot of deals fell through the cracks. Things just didn't work out the way they should. It just was not a well-oiled machine. It was a high producing but highly sloppy business structure. Now when we focus on things, we break it down. Is this something that would be good in a visionary type role? This particular task, does it take somebody that thinks really big? Or is this a task that is extremely detailed, organized? Because now we can pinpoint the kind of people based on that task. I'm not looking for people that I think are just like me. In some cases, I have to find people that are exact opposite of me, because guess what? They're going to be better at something than I have. And I can tell you guys now, like I said, if you're in the front end of your business right now, you've been in the business for a little while, you're a solo agent, maybe you're looking to take on a team, I would really identify what it is in your business right now that is lacking or is not doing well, or maybe identify the things that you are great at. And the way you can do this is literally start as easy as getting a piece of paper out right now, drawing a line down the center of that, and put the things that you're great at and the things that you're not great at. And when you break that down, write down all the things that you enjoy doing. Here's the things I'm great at. And by the way, you can be great at something and not enjoy doing it. That should go on the side of the things that you don't want to do anymore, not so great at, because, again, it's not something you want to do. Write down the list of things you enjoy doing in your business, the things that you're good at, the things that you love doing, the things you want to continue doing. And then on the other side of that, write down the things you hate. You could be that person that is extremely organized, very detailed person, very detail oriented, but in some ways it slows you down because you have to have all the answers to go make a decision really quick. And that you're getting in your own way as far as business growth goes, because you don't have that mindset that allows you just to take high risk, go at 100 miles an hour without having answers. I would highly recommend you go find somebody like that for your team, your business, your organization, management, whatever it is. If that is a piece that you're lacking, right, you're always going to be held back if you don't have that kind of person in your organization. On the opposite side of that, if you are that person that is very big picture oriented, similar to myself, you like to think big, you love to dream big, you like to go 100 million miles an hour, you like things to be different, you like things to be switched up, you're always looking for the next, way to do something that's more creative, more efficient, more fun, and you hate the details. When you share these ideas with people, if people come to you and say, well, this is why it won't work, and then it frustrates you because you don't want to hear the negativity, you just want to block that out. Guess what? You probably need somebody in your organization that is that details person, so that they can put all of your big ideas together, they can package them up, they can organize them, they can structure them, and they can make it run efficiently. So, Again, hopefully this helps one of you guys today. This is something that's so simple, but for some reason, I think in our minds, we make it harder than it really has to be. I know I personally do. I know that this was a game changer for me. I know that, my first couple years as my team, we did okay. We saw some results, we saw some scale, but man, these last 3 years, our results literally exploded. Every year, we've almost done double what we've done the previous year. We've grown, we've taken massive action, and it would not be possible if we didn't bring people into our team and our structure and our organization and our companies and our brokerage that did not have different perspectives and different skill sets than I have as my own. So like I said, we hire people based off what the job is, or we hire people based off my weaknesses now. It's great to have people that are just like you, but the problem is you got a whole business of people just like you, or furthermore, if it's just you only have so many hours in your day to get things done. Maybe you're a solo agent and you don't really want a big team, right? You're like, hey, I'm happy doing what I'm doing here, but I have reached my ceiling. My workload's getting pretty heavy. I don't want 5, 6, 7 people. You know what? Go hire a transaction coordinator to help take that paperwork off of your plate, right? Free up a little bit of that time for yourself. Take that time replaced with the transaction coordinator doing paperwork and spend that with family, friends, doing what you want to do. Maybe going out and getting a few more deals. If you're the opposite side of that, if you're that person that has that very type A personality, everything has to be compartmentalized, everything has to be structured, your day's planned out like crazy, fully itemized. You have these ideas, but then you talk yourself out of them constantly because you can only think about the risk. It just scares you. Guess what? Maybe go hire that visionary. Maybe go hire a buyer's agent that loves getting in cars, loves going and meeting with people, loves being the face, right, of the buyer side of your guys' business. So you can sit back and run it from the organizational side of things, Just some ideas for you guys, but really the point of this is sit down and understand what your highest and best use of your time is. Don't try to be everything within your business. Businesses from point A to point B have so many different hats, and I think all of us as entrepreneurs, our entrepreneurial spirit, entrepreneurs, we want to wear every hat within our business. But guess what? After a while, you're just not going to have enough hours in your day, or you're going to put yourself in a box doing a lot of things that you don't want to do, which is going to steal the joy from growing a business to begin with. So again, think about that. Focus on where your activities are best spent, where your highest and best use of time is going to be spent, and focus on finding people or finding things that need to be done that you don't enjoy doing and have people come in and help you out with that. That same business model can work if it's just 2 of you all the way up to 200 of you guys. So hopefully that was valuable for some of you guys. Like I said, I wanted to just pop on. I wanted to drop some knowledge for some of you guys, something I'm currently working on and something that's helped me tremendously. And as always, guys, I hope you guys are having a killer week. I hope you guys get out there and absolutely crush it. Have a good day, guys.